With Lewis Hamilton now equaling Michael Schumacher's record of 7 World Championships, the fans around the world have been discussing and debating just who is the greater of the two greats. Both drivers won their first world titles very early in their careers, with Michael winning in his third full season of F1 and Lewis in just his second. The German's Benetton may have been the best car in 1994, but it was also a hugely controversial season, with Schumacher being banned from 2 races and getting excluded from 2 more. It all dramatically ended in a collision with Damon Hill.
Oh, out goes Schumacher! And the 1994 World Championship has been won, a lot of people will say by default, by Michael Schumacher.
Lewis's first title was less controversial, but it was perhaps the most dramatic finish to an F1 season ever. The young Brit fought a season-long battle against Felipe Massa at a time when McLaren and Ferrari were equally matched, and the title was decided at the final corner of the final lap of the final race.
Is that Glock going slowly?
It is, it's Glock! Oh my goodness me! Hamilton's back in position again! 2008 Formula One World Champion, Lewis Hamilton.
Benetton didn't have the fastest car in 1995, and in fact their rivals at Williams took pole position at 12 out of the 17 races. But Michael used his incredible racecraft and Ross Brawn's strategic superiority to clinch his second title with ease. Unlike Michael's back-to-back success, Lewis had to wait 5 years for his next title. In 2014, the Mercedes cars were miles ahead of the rest of the opposition. Nico Rosberg actually took more pole positions that season, but Lewis delivered the points when it mattered, taking 11 wins against the 5 for the German to clinch the first of his championships with the Silver Arrows. Schumacher's third World Championship is, in my opinion, the best of his 7 world titles. By 2000, the pressure to deliver a championship for Ferrari had reached stratospheric levels for Michael and the team after near misses in the previous 3 seasons. The Ferrari and McLaren cars were very evenly matched, and the momentum in the championship battle ebbed and flowed between the 2 teams until Monza, where Michael delivered a crucial win in front of the Tifosi. He then went on to win the final 3 races, the most important being a tense battle against Mika Hakkinen in Japan to seal the World Championship.
We did it!
Mercedes still had the most dominant car in 2015, taking pole position at every single Grand Prix that year. But Lewis was also a clear step ahead of Nico, winning 10 out of the first 16 races and sealing his third title comfortably.
It is the championship in 2015 for Lewis Hamilton.
Titles 4 and 5 were pretty comfortable for Schumacher. In 2001, Michael finished with more than double the points of his teammate Rubens Barrichello, and in the following year, the German amazingly finished on the podium at every single Grand Prix to equal the great Juan Manuel Fangio's record of 5 world titles. In contrast, after a few years of mainly battling his teammate, Lewis had to battle Sebastian Vettel to win his next 2 titles. The Mercedes and Ferrari were pretty evenly matched in 2017, and when the circus rolled into Singapore, Lewis led by just 3 points. It all unraveled for Sebastian at the start, and from that moment on, momentum firmly shifted behind the Brit, who duly took his 4th title.
Kimi Räikkönen on the inside, and he's crashed with Verstappen. He's hit Vettel as well.
After 4 years of utter silver domination, Ferrari finally seemed to produce a faster car than Mercedes in 2018. By the time we arrived at Vettel's home race in Germany, he led the title race by 8 points. However, a mid-race rain shower on Sunday began a slippery slide for Sebastian that he has really never recovered from.
Oh, Sebastian Vettel!
Lewis capitalized to win that day, beginning a run of 8 wins in 11 races on the road to title number 5. World title number 6 was a hard slog for Schumacher. A new generation of young hotshots had arrived, and both Räikkönen and Montoya battled hard for the 2003 title. In a highly competitive year that saw 5 different teams and 8 different drivers winning races, The German managed to fend off the challengers and go a step ahead of Fangio on the all-time list. Schumacher's 7th championship victory in 2004 is very similar to Lewis's 6th and 7th titles. They both had the most dominant car by a clear margin, and although their respective teammates showed flashes of speed, they weren't really ever challenged consistently across the season. There's no doubt that they are two of the greatest drivers of all time, but which one is greater? I'll let you decide.